Hello and welcome. I'm Raziel, and how is everyone today? It's been wet, it's been miserable, it's been Britain, right? Anyway, so I hope you're all doing well. If not, please stay the course, my friends. It's always going to be worth it in the end. It might be long, but it will be. Okay. So I'm looking forward to 2026. I think 2026 is going to be a stellar year for wargaming. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not looking forward to 11th edition, which is supposedly coming out next year. Mainly because 10th edition is bad, 9th edition was bad, 8th edition was bad. Right, so we've literally just had bad games for Warhammer 40k. So 11th edition isn't really even coming on my radar outside of the usual news and stuff that comes up on your feeds. That's literally the only stuff. I am not excited for anything new, models, anything, because I've found better games and better models. And that's just the way it is. So, Wild West Exodus is coming out, which has obviously got me super excited, even though you can't tell with the tone of my voice. And so, I think this is a good time to start it. I really do, because pick up a posse box. I said posse, by the way. Dirty birds. And just start playing the game. It's a fantastic and fun game. And we're seeing Mantic doing well. And I honestly, the reason I'm so looking forward to 2026 right now is a lot of people I've noticed are going elsewhere instead of Games Workshop. Now, I'm not belittling Games Workshop. I think competition within the marketplace is absolutely phenomenal and it's a good thing to do. And so the fact we can see these companies bringing out new editions, bringing back old games and trying new things and expanding their companies to do all this other stuff, listening to the customer as well, is great. I think this is a good move for the wargaming hobby and the wargaming market. I think it's really cool. What we'll probably see, I'll be honest with you, a drop in eBay prices for models, because if people aren't buying them and are going elsewhere now, they're going to have to drop in price. And if Games Workshop has two brain cells to rub together, I would actually say they've got three. Two are on vacation and one is fighting for third place. And they would start seeing this as well. They would start dropping their prices, but we probably know they won't. But let's just see, all right? We can't say anything for sure until it happens. Nothing in life is guaranteed, except death and taxes. But the fact is, we know Firestorm Armada is coming out. We know Wild West Exodus is coming out. Warpath just got released. New Kings of War just got released. Conflict 47 got released. Conquest are bringing out new armies. They brought out 2 new armies this year. So did Kings of War, and so did Firefight. This whole expansionist wargaming hobby is expansionist. This whole expansion of the wargaming hobby is such a good thing for the average gamer. People who have got sick of Games Workshop and are getting tired of them, but want to remain in the hobby, and they want to move on. I do have to state, though, there is this uncommon and unfound. I don't like it. If you leave the hobby, you're running away. No, I don't gatekeep. If people want to spend their money however they want, that's their decision, that's their choice. If a company wishes to change their law, that's their choice. I do not have to agree with either, and when it comes to companies, I don't have to buy it either. So, that's always going to be my stance on the matter, no matter what anyone says. It is basically always down to you and what you buy, and I think this is a good thing. And now with more choice being more predominant in the market, such as Mantic and Warcradle, Armored Clash is doing incredibly well. They are releasing a Christmas model. It looks kind of cool. And so is Conquest. Conquest are releasing a Christmas model with Krampus. Again, it looks like it's a phenomenal looking model. I'll put them in here somewhere. You will see both of them. You'll definitely tell them apart. They're very Christmassy. And the fact is, they're taking these risks. They're taking these chances to, broaden their audience without isolating their audience at the same time. This is what good businesses do. They broaden their audience without isolating their current audience. Because that's what they want. If you always go after your main audience and you try and remove them, that's a big chunk of your money going. These are people who, we've put money in and they still do. They might not be the whales who buy, 17 starter sets or 52 tanks. Okay, I'm being very hyperbolic here, but you get the picture, okay? The main money that comes into a lot of these companies are the ones who buy 1 or 2 normal boxes a month, paint them up, build them up, and finish it. That's what they do. They might get a blister or whatever, but that's just it, okay? And if you can get these people to commit to your company even more with very good deal boxes, such as their fleet sets, the posse boxes, the regimentals box battle forces, or the mega army deals and army deals with Mantic, they're going to stay even longer because they might not go, right, you know what, I'm not going to buy, 2 boxes. I might just start an enforcer army. You get the army deal, it lasts you a couple of months to build and paint, and then you start building it slower when you start adding things slowly. And also, most of these companies, and I might be wrong on this, which is why I need to keep an eye on Warlord right now. I am not very happy with the way they are going with Conflict 47, so I'm going to keep an eye on them in general to see what happens next year. There's, like I said, there's 3 rules coming out. This is becoming a very popular way of producing games. The rules come out for free. They're a complete rule set. They're not some sort of very abridged idea of the rules. They are the full rules. You can play a game. You can start it, and you can, all you have to do is buy the models, and that's it. You don't have to buy 100 other books to go with it. And though they are doing campaign books for Mantic and the Kings of War, with Invasion being the first one, I have no issue with that. And like I said, if I don't want it, I won't buy it. It's that simple, but it's not going to influence the game in any way. It's not some data sheets that I'm not going to be able to get for free to download through the Mantic Companion. And this idea is really rubbing off on like Parabellum and War Cradle. 3 data sheets, 3 erratas, all of that, and they're not being, and we're also seeing with these other companies, which is why I'm so happy for 2026, is we're not seeing constant patches, we're not seeing constant erratas. We tend to see an errata of the newest data sheet after a few months, but not everything is being fixed. We're not getting these whole balanced data sheets or these whole balanced changes. We're getting the newest armies sort of being twerked and tweaked out to fit with the rest of the army, rather than having the new army needing all the other factions to work with that. Again, this is just a really good thing, and this is why I'm excited for wargaming in the future. And 2026, I've got to say, just because of Wild West Exodus coming out, is my biggest part. It's the most exciting part. And I'm just really excited to see what happens next year, what models we're going to see, and how these things work out. Are we going to get more plastic? Are we going to get more armies or more figures or what? I don't know. I don't know what we're going to get, but it's going to be exciting. And I know you guys at War Cradle watch my videos. I want Doc Holliday. I will constantly go on about Doc Holliday. Every time from now on, until he's released, every time I mention Wild West Exodus, I'm going to mention I want Doc Holliday. I want to finish my Tombstone posse. I have White up, I have Morgan up, so I just need Doc Holliday. And so, that's me, okay? And as I said, this is kind of cool. And the other thing is we're seeing a lot more companies being more interactive with their customers as well. A lot more having groups rather than pages where the customer is being talked at and people can actually say, look, I have this issue, without having to reply to a comment. It's going to be, they can make their own post. Absolutely great, phenomenal. And we're seeing this, we've been seeing this change for the wargaming hobby for a while now, but now it's sort of like really sort of ready to cook. It's cooked long enough. It's ready to go. We're seeing it. It's coming out, and it's phenomenal. And I hope this continues because right now, like I said, Games Workshop isn't really coming up on my radar. OPR having their own box set, brilliant. I'm hoping they release more in the future. You can now buy Trench Crusade models. I don't have an issue with it. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Trench Crusade. I've seen the aesthetic done better. That's literally my beef with it. In a nutshell, I don't like it because I've seen it done better, okay, in other forms of fiction. And I don't think it's unique in its way it is. But if you like it, you now have options to buy the boxes. You don't need a 3D printer to do it. And that's the other thing. A lot of these companies are doing 3D printing now. They have the options of either 3D printing or buying. Not everyone has the time or space to 3D print. And so, buying is the only option they have. And I think that's good. And if the option of both is good, because it doesn't take away from anyone else. And I just think we're going to have a great 2026. I think we're going to see a lot of companies doing a lot more work and a lot more stuff. We're going to see games having longer lifespans and not, constantly dribbled out, and, rules just being fixed from the start, which so many of these companies are doing. One-page rules is good at it. Wildest Exodus has a fantastic rule set, which has lasted for the last 4 years. It's going to be 5 years, isn't it? 2021. Yeah, 5 years. And so 5 years is a good lifespan for a game. I've got to say that. And people are like, oh, well, and they start making models. Like, well, they've made all the models. They're going to focus on something else. This is something else a lot of companies are doing. They will focus heavily on a game within its first couple of years, and they'll focus heavily on another game. And people might think, well, I'm not getting new models. Like, well, you've got all the models you need. Just buy those. You don't constantly need this drip feed of models. A company focusing on one game at a time is absolutely cool. I think it's amazing. I do. I think this is a good thing, because people might say, well, the game's dead. It's like, no, it's not. It's still, people are still playing it. Just because you're not getting new models all the time is not the best thing you can have. It dilutes the game with constant model releases. Focus on the game at a time for a year or so. Yeah, I like that. So, yeah, 2026 is going to be great. I think I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited for 2026. Next month is all going to be about Christmas and starting new games, and I'm going to really sort of discuss how to start new games in that. And I hope to see the hobby grows even more, and I think it's going to be a good year for everyone. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you had a lovely time and a lovely time listening to my dulcet tones. If you wish to save money on your wargaming, Mantic, Warcradle, and not Warcradle, because I have to add the addendum that because Wayland Games owns them, you don't get a discount. Same with if you buy from Mantic or you buy from Conquest, Parabellum, same thing applies. Okay, but Conquest, they have them all there with up to 20% off. There is also free delivery after £20, and yes, I use them a lot. I just got Morgan up. I'm so happy. I've run out of super glue. Anyway. And then they also have a point system, which is an extra 1% off, which is kind of cool. There is also Forbidden Planet for your comics, your DVDs, mangas, all that really cool geeky stuff. I will be doing a game review next week. I just need to make sure that I've got it right and what game I want to do. It's always going to be a game I enjoy. And so that's coming up next week, so look out for that. There is my merchandise, links in the description. There's Audible, really cool. If you're too busy painting or you're doing something, you can listen to your favorite books. 1984 is really good. I like that one. Starship Troopers, War of the Worlds. Those are the ones I tend to listen to the most. Actually, I tend to read to the most. But my little girl loves it as well. She loves it. That's why I have it, because she loves it. There is also Skyforge. Never forget Skyforge. Good friend of mine. Let's get him up a Google algorithm. I do not get paid for that. And finally, Patreon for business. Bye bye.